Hey everybody, welcome in. Welcome to the Spiritual View. Thank you to all of those who support the channel and watch us daily. We do have daily videos and we have lives every week. So thank you for being here. I'm Wendy, and this is going to be your daily divine forecast for March 8th, Saturday, March 8th. So I don't know about all of you, but I know it's been a rough couple of months. Especially the last month, and especially just this last week, has been pretty difficult, at least for me, and from the sounds of it, from a lot of other people too. Feels like, we're really being tested um, in a lot of ways right now. And, if you look at the astrology, that seems to really support all of that too. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with today's reading. For the oracle cards, I'm using the Alice the Wonderland Oracle. And for the tarot cards, I am using the Pulp Tarot. Okay. So I felt like I needed this reading just as much as I think most of you do. So we're looking at what we think is happening, what's actually happening, then why it's happening, the best move forward, potential outcome, what we don't see coming, and then we have a final message from Spirit. So that's the order we're going to be going in. But uh, let's see. So what we think is happening is I got messages for a rabbit, service in the animal world, which is I think just feeling like we're starting to get some idea of like getting messages and trying to figure out what's going on kind of beyond us. So what's going on in the world, gaining some understanding, even if we don't really fully understand it, just starting to, kind of get some guidance and get some clearer ideas of kind of things that are going on and what's happening, and maybe trying to figure out where we fit in. But I feel like we're really just in the muck of it all. I think it's still kind of confusing for a lot of people, even though the messages are trying to come through. So I think it's really hard to kind of um, see it in the moment, but the messages are there. And I feel like when we look back on this time, so like maybe in a few weeks and we look back at what was going on, then it'll be clearer that those messages actually were coming through and we were gaining some understanding as to why those things were happening. What is actually happening is use your time well, make every moment count, which I think that makes sense in that, it's giving us with all this kind of upheaval and so many things happening. And it just, feels like one thing after another after another. And we're trying to kind of, make our way through. What we really are focusing on is how do we want to spend our time? What's important to us, you know? It's really helping us kind of narrow those things down to help us to move forward, right? It's really helping us to figure out, what do I really want to be doing with my time? How do I want to be spending my time? What's important to me? What am I going to hold on to moving forward, and what am I going to release and let go of? Um, and because all of these things are happening and we're getting all of these messages, and it might feel like chaos, those decisions are being made kind of in the background, I think. I know I've been experiencing that these last few months. Um, okay, so why? Why is this happening? Well, I got the Five of Wands. Conflict, change, change is a constant. It's necessary. Um, it's going to bring about, arguments and discomfort and taking you out of your comfort zone, and, having to voice what you feel and what you think about things. And, maybe you've been sitting on stuff for a long time and not talking about it, not voicing your feelings or your concerns or what have you. And now it's got to come out. So so all of these things are kind of forcing us to start talking about these things, having the hard conversations, and even if it's just in our own minds, and having that, making those decisions with ourselves and being honest with ourselves and truthful with ourselves. Um, it's, I think, also very much about your relationships with other people and communication with others, and, figuring that out. I know I've um, also had that experience too lately of, like, a lot of relationships kind of being tested, and figuring out, having to um, figure out how to talk about things and bring it out, because it just has to. Okay, so the best move forward is the moon. And for the moon, I think that's really saying, that when we have the full moon and we have the new moon, it's when we really are focusing our intentions, right? We are focus our intentions on manifesting. We also focus our intentions on releasing and letting go, right? So I think with the new moon and the full moon, and we have eclipses on both coming up, it's very important that we are setting intentions with those the new moon and the full moon with those eclipses. And I know the energy is going to be really big with those as well. So I think this is a really apt card for a best move forward, is to really, really be setting those intentions. Okay. The potential outcome of that is Chariot. So by setting those intentions and with everything else that we have going on, it's going to start to propel things forward. So to move things forward very quickly. And, the astrology backs that message up as well. So I don't know if you guys have watched Dawn, but Dawn's been, you know, showing up with that astrology and letting us know exactly what's going on. So check out her videos if you want to get more into the astrology part of all of this. But yes, it's going to start moving things very quickly, moving them along. Now, again, a very apt card for what we don't see coming. I actually laughed out loud when this when this came out. The Tower. Of course, we don't see the tower coming. And if your experience has been anything like mine, it has been one tower after the next, after the next, after the next. And it's just like, okay, enough. I've had enough. But apparently, we haven't had enough, and they are just going to keep coming. I guess, it's going to keep coming until we get this resolved, until we, talk about what is going on and making the change, getting the change going, so that we can move forward. So I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so our final message from Spirit is, I want to be a queen, stating your sovereignty, declaring freedom, and passing a test, which again made me laugh. Because yeah, it has felt like a test, hasn't it? Just a complete trial of, a trial of errors and humility and just everything. It's just testing your patience, and, we're gonna get through it. I think, the whole, like, declaring your freedom, I think that's part of that, figuring out how to use our time well, right? Really figuring out what we want to do, setting these intentions, right? Getting us on the move, moving it forward. It's all leading us in the direction where we want to go, so that, so that we can have, that freedom, and moving forward and kind of moving into the lives that we really want to be living, And so right now it's a trial, and it's hard, and one thing after another, all of these towers, and we're just, trying to get through and figure it out. And like I said, I think when we look back on this, then we'll see all of these messages that have come through to kind of show us and guide us and help us and give us that understanding of why this has been happening. Being still in the middle of it, in the thick of it, um, it's really difficult, and because we're just trying to get through. So I think after things, and I want to say things will calm down, but I really don't think they'll calm down. They're just going to change because you're going to get busier, right? But you're going to be moving towards better things. Okay, so things are going to start to speed up, but at least you won't be like kind of stuck in the muck anymore, right? And you'll have more of a clear focus of where you want to go and what you're doing, what you're working towards. So like I said, setting those intentions with the new moon, full moon, super important, right? Best move forward. So let's make sure that we do that. Okay. And we will be talking about that more next week with the new moon. So, or with the full moon, sorry. So awesome. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped some of you. It's really just kind of reiterating for me what we're going through, and I'm getting, a similar message. So I wish you all well. We will get through this, and set those intentions. Be sure about those, really think about what you want and set it in motion. And I think you're going to find that you're on the right track. And we just got to get through this kind of muck before we can get to our clear path. But it's coming. It's coming for us. Okay. If you like the video, please share, like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.